Today we're going to be talking about how to scan for stocks that you're looking to swing trade. Our trading generally focuses on a combination of both day and swing positions. And when it comes to which sectors and which type of stocks that we're focusing on, the only thing that matters for us is that we have the volatility that we need to trade off of. So of course with this, the only difficulty is figuring out how to find these stocks, where the opportunities lie, and the certain criteria that they must fit in order for you to find only the best opportunities and filter out the bad ones. Now, I recently made a video on how to make $100 per day by swing trading, and naturally that got a few questions on, how to find those stocks, how to actually go about scanning and locating which opportunities are the best. And there's 3 specific criteria that I look for. As always, in return for this video, the only thing I ask of you is that you hit that beautiful and ravishing like button. And also, if you see value, don't forget to subscribe for more short, sweet, and simplified videos on how to trade the stock market. Okay, so the first criteria that I look for when looking to take a swing position is that the stock is a good deal. That's because if it's below 30, that means that it's oversold, and it's extremely important that we get it at oversold when it comes to swing positions because we need that margin of error. Of course, when we're taking a swing position, the idea behind it is that we're buying it, you're basically buying low and selling high, and the only way to really do that is to make sure that you're buying low. No, buying high and then attempting to sell higher, which usually isn't a great strategy. Now, since we're swing trading, we want to make sure that this is oversold on the longer term chart, but if it's oversold on the intraday chart as well, that provides us even more margin for error. Okay, number 2, we want to make sure that the stock is showing signs of an uptrend. Much like you wouldn't want to buy a sick animal on the side of the street, you don't want to buy a stock just because it's trending down or it's been oversold. It needs to be showing signs of an uptrend. And the last one is that the stock needs to have a decent amount of trading volume. This allows you the liquidity to move into and out of the position. Of course, this is much less important with swing positions just because of the fact that, with day positions, it's very important that we get out the minute that we want to sell. But with swing positions, it doesn't really matter as much, but we do need the liquidity to sell out of our position. Okay, so now that we've established that, we can now plug that into our platform. Now, many of you know that I've been increasingly using Webull as my broker. They are a completely free platform that keeps adding new features, and they also have no commission trades. The reason that I keep promoting this is twofold. Number 1 is the fact that I know a lot of you use Robinhood, and the reason that you use it is because it has free commissions, it has a good mobile app and whatnot, but Webull is kind of like the better for day trading version and better for swing trading version of Robinhood. Now, the thing I love about Webull is it sort of breaks everything down and makes it really easy, and they also have that free stock promotion if you sign up using their platform. I recommend you just check it out because at the very least you don't like it and you get a free stock. And honestly, I totally understand if you don't want to use our affiliate link, I totally get that, but make sure you find a affiliate link. You could probably just Google other people that have affiliate links so that you can take advantage of the promotion. But okay, with that being said, I'm going to use ThinkorSwim to demonstrate this just because it's still one of the most widely used platforms amongst this community. But let me know in the comment section if you'd like me to use more Webull in my videos. Okay, so if you're scanning for stocks that you'd like to swing trade, you're going to want to find something that's both oversold on the longer term chart, but also increasing. So in order to do that, all you have to do is go over to the scan function, and then you're going to set the criteria as so. I have it set to about the criteria that I usually use for my swing positions. And then the key here is with the custom study filter. I've talked about this before, but in order to set it up, just show you really quick, you go to add study filter, you go over here, you go to custom, then you go over here, study, just type in RSI, and then crosses below, and we want it to cross below the value of 30 because that's where it's officially oversold. Whoops. And then within 5 bars, because that gives us about the exact point, that's the amount of candlesticks away it is, so that it doesn't filter out some of the positions. Go ahead and push OK. So I already have one set up, so I don't need to do that. But in any case, once you have this set up, you're going to go over here and specify the time period. Now you can choose any time period you want. The one that I choose is 4 hours because it corresponds to the 4-hour 180-day chart. So the first one that comes up with the CGC, now everyone knows CGC, but we're going to look at it anyways, CGC. Okay, so we can see this was recently oversold, and it looks like we're almost near fair value, if not slightly over it. But in any case, we can look at this pattern and be like, oh, look, it looks like a comeback king. We have the overselling and then overbuying, overselling and then overbuying, overselling and overbuying. In fact, look at the difference between when it was oversold here and then when it was overbought again. This is definitely the comeback king pattern. So we could say, okay, well, then we can write down, this is going to be a stock that's going to be good when it's oversold once more. Once it gets oversold again, that's when I'm going to consider taking a position. Obviously, we're going to want to look a little bit more into this. Maybe we're going to look at the intraday chart. Let's see where it is. Obviously, if we're going to find something that's oversold on the longer term time chart, it would be better to find something that's also oversold on the shorter term time chart as well. But of course, if it's also increasing on the day, it's going to be harder to find that. So I'd say the criteria with this is just making sure that we have the comeback king pattern that goes, to oversold, to overbought, to oversold, and then to oversold, and then hopefully we'll have an overbought in the future. But it seems like the pattern continues on, and when we blow it up, you can see that a little bit more. I mean, it's really a beautiful pattern. In any case, let's go back and see what other options we have. Esta. Okay, this one's a little bit better because we have this like consistent line of resistance over here, pretty consistent over here, and then it's below that line of resistance, and we're oversold recently. So this sort of has like a comeback queen pattern where it's not quite making it up to overbought, but it is making it most of the way, at some points touching it. So, buying in at oversold would have provided a good price point for us multiple times. And there's a high likelihood that, look, it's dipping back down to support. And then once it gets there, or maybe it'll break a little bit higher, then, you can hold back up until resistance. But the key here is making sure that we have these signs of an uptrend, the early warning signs of an uptrend. RSG. Okay, RSG does have the comeback king pattern. Yeah, I mean, now actually, RSG does have the comeback queen pattern, but it's not a perfect pattern just because of the fact that it just makes it a little bit over fair value. You want to have as big of a margin for error as possible when you're trading with these because it's so important to make sure you're getting in at a good deal. But in any case, you could also design it so that it shows you within less than 5 bars or more than 5 bars. So if you're looking for the actual day where it's oversold, you could set this to just 1 bar and it'll come up with all the ones that are just 1 bar. But in any case, it's important to find stocks that are not just oversold, but are also oversold and increasing because, again, you don't want to buy a sick animal on the side of the road. You don't want to buy a dying animal on the side of the road, and it's the same thing with these stocks. All right, let's look at TLGT. If we're looking, okay, so we have a little bit of a comeback queen here where it's oversold, then it goes to fair value, then it's oversold, overbought, oversold, fair value. So this is a comeback queen. It's not a comeback king again because the comeback king goes all the way up to overbought. So that's an awesome one. Okay, let's try another one. Bass. Overselling, this is a terrible one, downtrending pattern. And of course, I recommend looking through some stocks that are just like seriously oversold, like they just went down 10 to 20%, because oftentimes what'll happen is that on one day it'll go down 20%, and then the next day it'll be so oversold that it'll go back up 5%. And that's just because of the overreaction phenomena that happens within the stock market almost every single day. But ANTM, we'll check out ANTM. ANTM, like look at this, for example. So it has a history of selling off, and then it just sold off again. We're oversold. Last time it was oversold, it recovered, and it recovered much higher, and it's the same level of resistance. It's the same level of support almost. So, I mean, this is an excellent opportunity as well. I mean, there's just so many different opportunities, and look how much upward potential there is from 249-ish to all the way to 317. And, of course, we're overbought, and this is a comeback queen in the earlier pattern. So, I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities with this. I think that, one of the best ways to go about it is to also look at the negative percentage changes. A lot of people ask me, like, oh, Charlie, why do you put top losers, biggest losers on your watch list that you post on ZipTrader Circle every night? Well, the reason is because so many people oversell things. It's just every single day a bad news article will come out. Someone will say something bad about the stock. The CEO will tweet something ridiculous, and the stock will just tank. And then it always overreacts because news is always really good or it's really bad, and that's always how the market reacts to it. So if you could be on the other side of the equation without emotion, logic over emotion, then you could take advantage of that situation. And we see this again and again. This is just the pattern that keeps happening. We'll check out ERA. Let's see what ERA. Okay, ERA's another one that just got oversold. Now, this one looks like it's a very straight overselling, so this might be a fundamental play that you'd want to look into. But in any case, we do have this technical... But in any case, it is oversold, and we're past previous support, so it broke previous support. And it doesn't really have that great of a history. It has a history of recovering from, like, almost oversold to fair value, but that's not exactly what I would look for there. Okay, CAN. Let's try CAN. This is one of our marijuana picks from like January or something. It's been oversold significantly. Yeah, and this is also a failure of a pattern. So you're definitely going to want to go and look through these and make sure you find the exact swing trade. And of course, to get some ideas, we do have the ZipTrader Circle Facebook group, and we also have the Discord chat, and a bunch of different people, including me, post various swing trade positions and various opportunities within the market. Of course, I also recommend adjusting this criteria a little bit. Maybe you'd want something that's oversold on a different chart. Maybe just the way that I do it is usually this. In fact, we can even go through this really quick. Let's check out the 1 hour chart. Yeah, we're getting a lot of the same stocks with this though, of course. And another thing is that you do want a lot of upward potential. And when you're doing the oversold and increasing, what tends to happen is that you don't get as much upward potential, which is honestly kind of a bummer. But in any case, that is usually what happens. So it really depends on the day that you're searching, and it depends on a bunch of different things. But what I would suggest to you is mess around with the specifications a little bit. But in any case, this was a quick video. And if you have any questions, don't forget to comment below or reach out to us on the ZipTrader Circle Facebook group. It's a completely free Facebook group, and the link is in the description below, and it's also pinned to the top comment. Anyways, have a great day, folks, and I'll see you in the next video.